Hey everyone, this is Michael again. Welcome to my review of tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw. And of course, this is the Memorial Day edition of Raw. Happy Memorial Day. We all take the time to think and respect the people who fought for our country and protected it and protected our country. So, yeah. So, anyways, this Raw just finished just now, and my God, this show fucking sucked tonight. It was so fucking shitty tonight. Oh man, and this is the go home show for Extreme Rules, which is coming up this Sunday. Man, what a shitty build to the pay-per-view on Sunday. There was no matches. There was nothing to get you hyped for any of the matches that are on the Extreme Rules card on Sunday. But yeah, let's get started with this shitty-tastic show tonight. The show opened up with Miz TV. Of course, Miz and Maurice end up coming out, saying that Sunday, that Miz says that Sunday he's going to get his hands on Dean Ambrose. He calls Ambrose a thief because he thinks Ambrose stole his Intercontinental title, and this Sunday he says he's going to take back the Intercontinental title. He then introduces his guests for Miz TV, which was Sheamus and Cesaro. Miz tells Sheamus and Cesaro that how the Hardy Boys stole Cesaro and Sheamus' spotlight, after winning the Raw Tag Team titles at WrestleMania. And then Sheamus then says that he doesn't like how the fans turned their backs on him and Cesaro when the Hardys won the match, won the titles. Then Dean Ambrose ends up coming out. He tells all three guys, Miz, Cesaro, and Sheamus, to shut their mouths. And then Miz goes, "Oh yeah, you want to shut my mouth?" And then, then the Hardy Boys end up coming out. They're like Ambrose's backup. And then they all start brawling in the ring. The Hardy Boys, Ambrose, Sheamus, Cesaro, and the Miz. So it was, it was a segment until the Hardy Boys came out. So, and that eventually led to, when Raw came back from the commercial, it led to a six-man tag. It was the Hardy Boys, Dean Ambrose versus the Miz, Cesaro, and Sheamus. And this was an alright match. Nothing perfect or great or anything. But the Hardy Boys, Dean Ambrose, went at it, went and gave it all they got. And then in the end, Matt Hardy, the Hardy Boys and Dean Ambrose got the win because Matt Hardy hit the twist of fate on Miz. And then Matt tagged in Jeff. Jeff went to the top, hit the Swanton bomb on Miz to score the win. So, but yes, all in all, it was a okay match. And then after the match, Corey Graves ends up getting a text on his cell phone, and then he exits the commentary booth, and looks on Booker and Michael Cole were suspicious of Corey Graves because they probably didn't know what was going on. And so when Raw comes back from the commercial, we see Corey Graves and Kurt Angle, and then Corey Graves shows Kurt the text from his phone, and somebody's out to is not liking Kurt. Somebody's out not liking Kurt and what he's doing as a general manager. And Corey Graves wants to help Kurt and find who sent this text message to him to show Kurt. So but it was nothing great of a segment. And the next match was Elias Samson versus some jobber. It was a shitty match, very boring. Just trying to make just trying to make Elias look good. And Elias won the match with a neck breaker. So yeah, so shit match, very short match. Then after that, Samoa Joe gets interviewed with him facing Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt, and which is happening tonight. Joe says that he knows Finn very well, and then he starts talking about Bray. Bray ends up cutting him off, saying that he knows Joe and that one can defeat the beast. What he said last week. So yeah, it was interview. Then it was Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt versus Bray Wyatt. It was a pretty good match. I have to say this was the match of the night to me. Just these three guys, gave it all they got. It was, it was Joe and Bray just, decimated Finn Balor through the match, and taking him out. And this is why there are haters of Finn, say, oh, he sucks, and he's not that good in the ring. He's a shitty wrestler, and this is why people say that, because of what you saw in this match tonight. I am a fan of Finn. I think he's good in the ring. I've followed him ever since NXT. Had really great matches down there. But there was a point in the match where you had Finn on the top, and then it was Joe, and then Bray at the bottom, and then he just superplexed all two of them. Finn Balor ended up taking the brunt of it, which Finn came off of the top rope. But in the end, Samoa Joe got the win because he stole the win, because Finn hit the coup de grace on Bray. And then Joe comes in. He throws Finn into the steel post in the ring, and then just steals the victory from Finn. So yeah. So anyways, it was I have to say it was the match. It was the best match of the night, in my opinion. All three of these guys did a good job in this match. I really enjoyed the match. And then the next was, Seth Rollins was being interviewed about his match with Roman Reigns tonight. He talks about how he has a complicated history with Roman Reigns, and he knows that the first thing that he knows is that when both him and Roman are in the ring, it's a war. And he also mentions the second thing he knows about Roman is that he says that he owns Roman Reigns, and then he goes on to say Sunday he will win that fatal 5-way match and face Lesnar for the Universal title. So, but it was a little cool interview. And then after that, it was Rich Swann versus Noam Dar. Very boring match. You had Alicia Fox and Sasha Banks out there at ringside. You had Alicia trying to interfere in the match in the end, but Sasha wouldn't let it, and Sasha takes out Alicia, and then Rich Swann ends up getting the win by pinning Noam Dar because Rich jumped from the top rope onto Noam Dar to score the win. So, but all in all, it was a shitty match. Then we had the Revival there. They returned after not being on Raw in 6 weeks, and they say that they will be back in action, and they then show a video of them when they were at Raw last week, because they were in the back. We saw, Sasha being interviewed, and you saw the Revival kind of walk by, and there's questions going around saying that if they were the ones that attacked Enzo last week, and and then they go on to say that they are not going to waste their time on Enzo, and then they just walk off. So it was good to see. It was cool to see Revival again. After they have not been on Raw in 6 weeks. After their little rivalry, with New Day, and then Big Cass ends up coming out, and he's yelling at Corey Graves because Corey Graves thinks that Big Cass had something to do with attacking Enzo, and kind of Corey was like a little freaked out by that, and then Big Cass and Corey Graves end up shaking hands. So, but yeah, and then after that, it was Titus O'Neil versus Kalisto. This was a very short match. Also, another shitty match, in my opinion. It was just Titus O'Neil and Kalisto going at it. Just Titus O'Neil got the win by pulling the tights of Kalisto to score the win. Then you had, then it was, Titus just taking a selfie with Apollo Crews. The whole Titus brand thing. Yeah, shitty match. Another shitty match. So, sorry about that, but I was saying Titus O'Neil versus Kalisto, shitty match. And then after that, this was the worst segment of the night. This was the most shittiest, gayest segment of the night. It was Alexa Bliss coming out for the Bayley "This Is Your Life" segment, and it was basically she had a table that was there was a table in the ring that was filled with all the stuff that Bayley did in the past. You saw like little pictures of Bayley with wrestling superstars from back in the day, and then Alexa goes on to say that she will defend the Raw Women's title in a kendo stick on a pole match, where one of them has to grab a kendo stick from the top of the pole, and to win the match probably. And then Alexa goes on to say that to understand Bayley, she had to dig deep into her past, and she also has people of Bayley's past in the ring. She had her 4th grade teacher, one of her friends, and her ex-boyfriend, Bayley's ex-boyfriend. And yes, a stupid segment where her ex-boyfriend and her friend, they liked each other, and then they both started kissing in the ring. I'm like, ugh. I was like ready to fall asleep during this segment because it was so damn boring. It was so shitty. And then Bayley ends up coming out and attacking Alexa. Alexa strikes back to Bayley, and then Bayley ends up, throwing Alexa. Bayley ends up going to retrieve the kendo stick, but she then gets attacked by Alexa. Alexa retrieves a kendo stick that she had underneath the table, and then she hit Bayley with it, and Bayley went out of the ring to end the segment. You see Alexa holding up the title. But even though I love both of these girls, like I said, this segment was just the worst segment, the most gayest segment of the night. It was just really fucking shitty, very boring. Just literally, I could not, imagine, I could not imagine this segment, being bad when they first, when they first said it was happening tonight. But man, uh, Mankind and The Rock's, this is your Mankind when he did the This Is Your Life with The Rock. That was a million times better than what we saw tonight with, Alexa Bliss and Bayley. And that happened back in '99, and that was literally one of the funniest segments that they had on Raw in the Attitude Era, and that was the highest rated segment of the night on that Raw with Mankind and The Rock. So, but yeah, that segment, like I said, was a million times better than what we saw tonight. I was just, ugh. Man. Moving on. Moving on. Done talking about that shitty segment for tonight. And then after that we saw Enzo Amore was attacked again. Big Cass is upset again. He goes to talk to say to Kurt that it's the Revival that is attacking Enzo. Kurt tells Big Cass to calm down and that he's going to get to who is attacking Enzo. So, and then, we just see them helping Enzo up. Then it was Jack Gallagher and Austin Aries versus TJP, TJ Perkins, and Neville. This was a pretty good match because of Austin Aries and Neville. Whenever these two guys go at it, it's going to be good. Of course, they have a match this Sunday, and that match is probably going to be the best match of the night because it's Austin Aries and Neville. They had a good WrestleMania match, that was on the kickoff show, and this is gonna hopefully this match is gonna be probably as good as their WrestleMania match. Hopefully, Austin Aries, hopefully, he will get the win for the cruiserweight, and be the new cruiserweight champion. Hopefully on Sunday when he wins his match against Neville, which it's going to be a submission match. So hopefully it'll be Aries' time to be the cruiserweight champion. So, but this match was good. You had Neville jumping from the top, and then you had Aries applying the last chancery on Neville to make Neville tap out to score the win for him and Jack Gallagher. So it was a good match, for Austin Aries and Neville. It was Jack Gallagher and TJ Perkins. They were just there during the match. Then after that, we have Roman Reigns being interviewed backstage about his match with Seth Rollins tonight. Roman goes on to say that there is not a man who owns him, and he's going to show to everybody tonight that it's his yard. So, a short little interview with Roman Reigns. He's always going, this is my yard. So, and then Neville was trying to be interviewed about heading into his match on Sunday with Austin Aries, but he just goes off. He's just really pissed off. Doesn't give an interview, just walks off. Then it was Goldust cutting another promo about R-Truth. It was a pretty good promo. Which brought me back to late '90s when late '90s Goldust when he was cutting those promos, saying he's in the director's chair. It was, like I said, it was a nice throwback to the late '90s Goldust. And then R-Truth then cuts his promo about Goldust. It was kind of okay, I enjoyed Goldust's promo a lot more. Kind of glad that they broke up the Golden Truth, because they were just just jobbing every time they had a match. So, and then it was the main event, which was Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. This was a okay main event. Just back and forth action between both of them. You had Rollins jump from the top rope, and then Reigns just Superman punches him out of nowhere. And what was really annoying was they kept on going to replays through the match. Just, he does, like, Roman does a move, replay. Seth does a move, replay. It was just very annoying to me. But as usual, Roman Reigns won the match with a spear to Rollins. So this is pretty much, with both him and Rollins going into the Fatal 5-Way match with Bray Wyatt and Samoa Joe and Finn Balor this Sunday at Extreme Rules. My pick, hopefully Finn Balor wins that Fatal 5-Way. I hope he does, because he deserves to win back the Universal title, because he just gave it up. He never lost it. So, but we have to wait until Sunday to see that. But overall, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, it was an okay main event. So, sorry about that, but I was saying, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins was an okay main event. So, well, let's see what happens when they compete in the Fatal 5-Way match at Extreme Rules on Sunday. See how that goes. So anyways, thanks for watching my review of tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all back tomorrow night for my SmackDown review. So hopefully SmackDown will be a better show tomorrow. Hopefully, it'll be good and better than the shit show tonight on Raw. So until tomorrow night, I'll see you all later.